This was Sue's mother's side of the family, and that was Sue's mother's, I think, her uncle or maybe her brother. I'm not really sure, but it's her mother's side of the family in Cassville, and and I don't remember his name, but we went up there and visited with them, and her dad's side of the family was from southeastern Oklahoma. Her mom came from Cassville, and this girl with the polka dot dress her name is Nancy, and that's Sue's cousin, and she married a guy by the name of Daryl. David Darrell. I'm trying to think of his last name. Anyway, but Nancy was a sharp young lady. She came and stayed with us for a few days, for a week, I guess, one time, and they moved to Pensacola. She got married and moved to Pensacola, Florida. Daryl David Dunn, her married name, Dunn. That's a sharp dress she's got on. And look at that handsome young guy. He was still had this screw cut. There's Miss Janice Kay, my oldest daughter. The lights are bothering her. That's her mother, Sue. There's Nancy again, scratching her head. She and her husband became very, very good friends as years went past, and we could. This guy is Clevenger, Dwayne Clevenger. He was Sue and I's really good friend. His wife and him are that. I don't know whose kid that was because he didn't have any kids. So that they became really good friends in Kansas City, and then when we moved to Oklahoma City, they came down, I think, once to see us. We went up and once to see them, and then we kind of lost touch, and then they moved to, a southern part of the country, Florida or someplace, I'm not sure where. Kind of lost touch. Talked to Dwayne many years ago, and his wife had passed, and so there's Janice Kay. She's out having fun. Those cars back then looked pretty fancy. Well, I believe that was the girl right there was Kathy, I believe. And the guy, I don't know who the guy is. Well, I guess it's the guy in Cassville. There's Miss Sue again. These all were, I think, Sue's relatives, and I don't remember who they were. I think it's part of our trip that we went on up to Kansas City. Matter of fact, those other people that we was looking at a while ago may have been from Kansas City. We may not have been in Cassville at all. Um, but this is Kansas City. That's where that's where we saw the Clevengers in Kansas City. I worked in Kansas City for about a year and a half for a structural engineer, doing detailing, working in office, doing detailing steel, rebars and buildings, and worked for a structural engineer. His name is Al Masterson. And Al was a good guy, a good boss. He taught me a lot, not only about working habits, but also about life itself. He's a very straightforward, stern guy. For Sue and I, Kansas City was a new experience because it's a large city. He was raised in Bow Lakes, Oklahoma, and the Mulebach Hotel there was a live place. You could buy liquor there, and Oklahoma was still dry, and which you couldn't buy legally, uh, except bootleggers. But it's pretty country. That must be Kathy. Okay, this is a house my mom and dad built in Davis, Oklahoma. God, I can't tell you the year, but I went to see them. It's a brand new house he built. There's not anything else around it out there. Dad's got a little dog house in the back, and it's a pretty nice house. We This pictures here were taken in out by the pretty close where the airport is now in Texas and Dallas, Dallas Fort Worth. And I'm trying to think the Grapevine is Sue's sister, Norma Jean, and Tudor lived out there, and they had this little boat. And so I want to go out to the lake and go boating. I backed up into the boat and knocked a hole in it. They got out there working on it. He got fiberglass and fiberglassed it. And the next day we was on the lake water skiing. Well, we wasn't water skiing because I couldn't water ski then. But we was on the lake. That's Tudor, and that's Norma Jean's husband. He was always a nice guy. And I think that's Tudor's brother. And I can't recall his name. He was a pretty good mechanic. And that must have been his wife. He looks like a happy kid. I think that lady there is Tudor's sister-in-law. I think. I'm not really sure about that. I know it's Norma Jean. That's Tudor's wife. That's Sue's older sister. Well, the only sister she had. And she is a very, very smart young lady. So that must have been her baby. That was back in the years right there where they was just building the Dallas Fort Worth Airport. Okay, we're back to the Dennington's house in Bow Lakes, Oklahoma, and I think they're repairing damages from the tornado that happened earlier. And that's Travis Dennington down there mixing the concrete. That's his youngest son, uh, uh, Gary Dennington, as his youngest son. They had three boys and two girls. And that's Miss Janice Kay out there running around in the yard. And that's Sue's dad. His family was from southeastern Oklahoma.